Let's see what we got.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay.
So, when you do.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, with the beard.
Yeah, with the beard, yeah, okay.
Anyway, you look very good.
What dowsing is?
In using the pendulum, can it help you know for sure how to get rid of a certain pain in your body? Or like some kind
It
of...
should be able to, yes. You should be able to locate the source of the pain and find out if your subconscious is willing to remove the source.
The source.
If the subconscious believes it can remove the source.
When you say source, what do you mean with that?
Well, any pain that you have in your body has a cause. You want to know what the cause is, the source of the pain. What's causing the pain? There's something that isn't in
What if
correct.
it's old age?
Yeah, well,
Something,
there's a lot of people that are old and are still very active and don't have a lot of pain. So, we can remove that. The cause of pain in the body because of a certain age is because certain things you've done in the past have set in motion a cause right now. Now, for instance, you may have, like you have, scoliosis of the spine. There have been people that say that can be corrected with metaphysics, with using the pendulum. Susan Collins is one, she's a Canadian Dowser. Yes? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something, Corky. Okay. You should be able to go in and determine the cause of the pain. Is it something out of alignment? Is there growth in there? And with using the pendulum daily, maybe even hourly, request that that growth be removed. You should be able to and ought to, but I can't guarantee you will be able to. That's been done, I know that. I'm working on my lungs. And I worked around too many operating jet engines in the Air Force and I slowed. Neither of which was necessarily beneficial. So I'm having problems breathing now. And every time I say that, I am reinforcing it. You gotta watch what you tell yourself. You tell yourself a lot of times what's wrong with you, and guess what? That's what's wrong with you. The more you tell yourself that you're removing it, the subconscious will cooperate more and more and remove it. That is my belief. I don't know if that's your belief. A lot of times, what we found in dowsing, they've done brainwave studies. Now this is really very interesting to me. I did brainwave studies. Right here, this is, right there is consciousness. This is what you call deep sleep. There is dreaming sleep, where your brainwave is at theta, 4 to 7 hertz, right there. Deep sleep is delta, 0 to 4 hertz. This is where you're not conscious. Falling asleep is alpha, right here. Alpha is also the meditative state. And by the way, alpha can be triggered by holding your head level and raising your eyes up like that. That tips your brain into alpha state. In Silva Mind Control, we learn to trigger the alpha state by touching these 3 fingers together. So, being a wise ass, I learned to do the delta, theta, by putting those 2 fingers together. Right now, my brain is operating in the theta level, 4 to 7 hertz. Now it's operating in alpha. Now I'm back at beta. This is the top level up here, right there. That's beta, right there. This is normal waking, right there. Now, TM meditators are able to do both theta and alpha at the same time. Zen meditators are able to do beta, alpha, and theta. Dowsers, operating the dowsing rods or the pendulum when they're out looking for something, are able to do delta, theta, alpha, and beta, all 4 at once, and aren't even aware of it. Their subconscious is concentrating on finding that, their conscious mind is operating watching the L rods or the pendulum, and they're able to do all four brain waves at once at a high level. They've not found any other meditators that are able to do that. Blew their minds. Dowsers do it without even knowing about it. So when you're in a dowsing mode, doing dowsing, answering questions with the subconscious, using your pendulum, looking for pipes or anything else, you're doing that. Your brain is in all four of these different modes at the same time. That's information, I don't know what you're going to do with it. But alpha is a very interesting state. This is what happens when you meditate. You go into deep alpha, maybe even down into theta. This is where you get answers sometimes, you get intuitions. I've had a lot of just flat new information come in. A lot of the stuff that I was told on the other side when I was dead at 14, I still don't consciously remember, but it comes up as situations in my life occur and I'll get an answer. Oh, that's what that came from them when I was 14. You can do that by your own meditation, going in and getting answers from your high self. And you'll learn about that in these books, Secret Science at Work. Doing it. Excuse me. Doing it, yeah.
See, you really turned on the light bulb for me just now. Because I talked to the other side using the dowsing, while I'm dowsing. And I just find it so easy, to talk to the other side while I'm dowsing. But I don't, maybe I could, but.
If we hooked you up to a brainwave machine,
Yeah,
measured
that's
all
how
four at
come,
once,
that's how come the dowsing,
Yep.
then I can receive the messages.
yeah. What
Well-
happens is the conscious mind usually blocks out messages from the subconscious. Because we're so busy thinking about other crap,
Mhm.
and it is crap. And you don't hear what the subconscious is trying to tell you. A lot of times, I'll be looking for something and where did I leave? And I'll get this little flash of an image in my mind, excuse me. There's that frog again. If I ever catch that thing, I'm gonna have frog legs for dinner. I'll get a flash of an image in my mind of the item I'm looking for. And if I pay attention, I will see the surroundings where it's at, and then I go get it. Oh, thank you. If I'm not paying attention, that little image will flash and it's gone. The subconscious puts it up and says, okay, you're not interested? Fine, I'm out of here. I'll go do something else. So, that's how mine works. I don't know how yours work. A lot of people get literal voices. I don't. I get images. I'm very visually oriented. Others are auditory, kinesthetic. Some people get feelings. They'll be turning around and you get the feeling that something's out there, or something's over there, or something's behind me. I can feel when people come up behind me. I can do that, but most people can't. And most people can feel when someone's staring at them from the back. So yeah, when you're doing your work, you're probably in either alpha or theta, maybe all four at once. I don't know. You'd have to hook up a machine to find out. But you know you're in an altered state when you're getting the answers. When you're getting the answers of a subconscious mind, you're in an altered state. If you're using the pendulum and you're getting answers, you're not in the beta scientific mode. Yes, sir?
How do you know you're not controlling it?
How do you know you're not what?
How do I know when that I'm not controlling it? Because sometimes I'll ask the same question over and over and I'm getting different answers.
Well, that's because your subconscious gets tired of giving you the same answer. You're dealing with a child. It's a 6-year-old child. Uh-huh. You remember how you were a 6?
Why is it so young?
I
Okay.
can't hear
So
you.
just take like the first answer and don't.
Yes. and say
second guess
thank
it.
you.
Okay.
And after that, go have some ice cream.
You didn't say who the 6-year-old was.
'Cause you can-
Yes, take your 6-year-old out for ice cream.
You can feel, well, I can,
You'd be surprised how
Energy.
effective that is.
yeah, I can.
Say thank you, and asking if it would like a treat. And, you know, we're gonna do some work. I need correct answers. I need accurate, true answers. Not what I wanna hear, I need what is. And when we're done, we're gonna go get a treat. You'd be surprised how many accurate answers you get.
You say that up front? That
Sure you do.
Okay.
Don't lie to it. Your subconscious has already got it wired up, you're a liar. You've been lying to it for years. I'm gonna, and then you never do. That's why you get sometimes the answers you get, because you're being lied to right back. And let me tell you, there's a psychiatrist that had said, the universe will end before the subconscious mind runs out of parts in your body to make hurt to get your attention. Something's wrong, fix it. Now, you can fix it with cooperation with the subconscious. If the subconscious can't fix it, a lot of times it will give you answers or intuitions on where to go, who to see, and how to fix it. It may not be within its capability to fix it, but it knows that there are doctors or specialists that can help it fix it. Especially if it's not. A lot of times you have emotional blocks in the subconscious about going to the superconscious or the high self. The high self can do instant healing. I've had it happen. I had a broken ankle and I walked off on it. X-rays 2 hours later showed it had been healed for 6 months. I forgot to work on the tissue, and boy, did I have a technicolor foot. Jose Silva was fascinated. The doctor that did the X-ray signed up for Silva Mind Control. Don't lie to your subconscious. Tell it you want true, correct answers, and when you're through with the work, through with the questioning, you will go have a treat. It could be a cookie, it could be candy, it could be ice cream, it could be whatever your subconscious likes. It doesn't have to be a lot either, especially if you're watching your weight like I am. See, I'm watching. A lot of this is just making friends with the child within, because it is a child. It's very loving, and it will protect you. It wants to protect you. 99% of all the emotional stuff that happened to you when you were a child is your subconscious being upset, trying to protect you from something. And it's when you run into a situation right now that reminds the subconscious of something that was emotional back then, it will pull that emotion forward. So you know this situation is not something the subconscious likes. One thing I found out, are there any non-beneficial emotions?
No.
Good. Is anybody else?
I would disagree.
Okay, good. Which one?
A non-beneficial emotion would be one that you don't process through your body.
That's conscious mind. The emotion itself, is it beneficial or non-beneficial?
Not if I stop the pain and then have a massage therapist rub me right here 4 years later and I start crying for no reason.
Okay, but let me ask you this. What's the purpose of anger?
Not sure.
Good. Honest answer. Anybody?
Get you out of a situation, to make you move.
To protect you, right? Fight or flight.
Well, yes and no. That's fear. Anger is the subconscious letting you know there's something going on you damn well don't like. Now what you do about it is what's going to bite you in the butt. The action you take on an emotion is what's going to cause a problem. If you realize the emotion is there, you say, yes, thank you, I know I'm angry, and you don't do anything about it, and you say, okay, I know I'm angry, let's let it go, let it go. Then you can do something about the situation calmly, coolly, and collectedly without bad repercussions. But when you do something about a situation and under a high emotion, you might live to regret it, especially marriage.
You mean when you're married or getting married?
Either.
Either, right.
And I am a past master at that. I've been married 3 times, lost 2 wives. Middle one we ain't gonna talk about because I never, well, that broom that she had, Hogwarts would have wanted.
Did you ask the pendulum?
I never
if you
saw
should
it.
get married?
Huh?
Did you ask the pendulum if you should get
At
married?
that time, I was not into this very much. I should have.
Oh, for you? Wow,
I was thinking with a part of my anatomy that had no brains. Don't do that. Okay, let's see here. What do we got now? You can use line of sight. If you're dowsing for something, let's say you've lost, somebody's lost something. Somebody's lost a very valuable bracelet when they were crossing that pasture at a time when the bull wasn't there. And they've asked you to find it. And you're out there, you're dowsing with your pendulum, and the pendulum says it's in there. So you say, okay, is it over there? Oh, it's right there. The pendulum says, it's right there. Okay, is it over there? No. There? Yes. No. There? No. Yes. No. Yes. You can locate it. Then you can ask the farmer to take that bull out of there so you can go get it. You can literally use vision as a positional marker. Now, a lot of times, that friend of mine in western Kansas that dowses for water, he uses, when you're dowsing 21-mile acres, 21-mile pastures for water, you're going to use something mobile to do it. He uses a 4-wheel drive with a driver. He sits there with these dowsing rods. They move slowly, and he does the pattern. And every time it crosses, he puts a marker in, a flag. You're trying to walk a 21-mile pasture, you're going to take 2 weeks or more, so he drives. Now, he uses a flag and a marker, and then they track this stream underground. My friend did not know he could determine the depth of the water because he'd been taught by an old Indian dowser, and the dowser didn't know you could determine depth. It blew his mind when he found out. We went from the 1st grade through high school together, and he never knew I could dowse. I never knew he could dowse. It blew his mind when I told him that he could determine depth. He said, no, you can't. I said, sure you can. You found the water, didn't you? All you got to do is ask how deep it is. He says, you can do that? I says, you found the water, didn't you? Next time he went out, once he got the stream and they found a place where they could mount the drill, a good place, he said, okay. He sat there with his rod and he says, I wrote it up and sent it to him in a letter. Okay, is it less than 2,100 feet? No. Is it greater than 2,200 feet? Yes. Is it greater than 2,300 feet? No. Between 22 and 2,300. Yeah, about 22.5 greater, yes. So he went down and he just zeroed down until he got, it was 2,275, 2,255 feet down. And he got 15 gallons per minute out of it. An artesian. It just come up by itself. But he didn't know he could do that.
Valuable information.
Yeah, it is very valuable. You can find distance, you can do map dowsing. You look at a map of an area, and you take a ruler and you start moving it across using your pendulum for yes or no, or your L rod for yes or no. And you just move it across. When you get a yes, you draw a line. Then you move your ruler 90 degrees and start going across that way. And then when you get the yes, you draw a line where it crosses, it is where it's at. Then you can ask for depth. I had a friend to Dowser's, Chuck, he was trying to find a sewer connection on his son's property over in Hollister. And they couldn't find it, it had been blown over with dirt and dust. So I told him, well, just draw a sketch. He said, well, don't I need an accurate map? I says, you got an accurate map in your head, just draw a sketch, find out local area. Then you can go out over there and say, okay, where is it exactly? He said, I walked right to it. I said, I didn't know I could do that. Okay. So, any questions? Yeah, Jeff.
So what is it our subconscious can't do? Because what you're telling us is we can find water and we can pick up on like electrical signals, and I realize there's a little bit of natural electricity and dirt and stuff anyhow, but I think some people can also use it to talk to like spirits on the other side and things.
That's what they said. She talks to angels. Tamara. She uses angels. So, I don't. But you can use dowsing to determine if you can do that. You can use dowsing to determine if you should do that. And I think that's the best thing to do, is to find out if you should do it. And if you decide you're going to do it, find out if you have enough protection to do it. There are entities on the other side that are not your friend. And you have to be protected from them. Yes?
Can you use dowsing to find out where in your body is holding down your energy?
Yes,
Can.
absolutely.
How would you
I
do
want
that?
some.
Yeah. You just start going through your body and asking, ask literally, you can download an image of the body off the internet and print it out, and just start pointing to areas. And get a yes or a no. Is it in here? Is it some particular physical thing? Or is this emotional? Or is it a combination of physical or emotion and emotional? Has an emotion caused a physical change in my body? How do I correct that? You can use dowsing for that.
Well, I think it's really interesting that, you know, because I'm becoming familiar with dowsing, why I have not used it, if I can get to a point with getting rid of where my energy is closing down.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is there's some kind of victim in me that doesn't want to get well.
Exactly. You see, your past patterns are very, very enthusiastic about surviving. You've created a set of habits and a set of patterns that have been operating within you for a long period of time. And they want to remain. There is a form of consciousness within your body. These are a group of cells. Your body is a group of cells that are cooperating in friendship to be a body. If you stop and think about it, you're a bag of sloshy things on a solidified calcium frame that has agreed to be a body. Now, you can go in and find out what part of these sloshy things are not working right.
That's kind of what the tyrants have.
It is a tyrant. It is specifically tyrants that don't want to leave. What she's talking about is the wall of meaning. On a wall of meaning, you have all of the things written down, both positive and negative, that you believe. And when you run into something that is causing you a problem, a belief that is non-beneficial, you can go into your mind and look at your wall of meaning and find that belief. You can go erase it. Then you can write something positive in its place. But there will be something screaming in horror in your mind telling you, no, you can't do that. That's your tyrant. Some people call it dragons. They want to live. They want to keep going. You have to erase them too. Some people load them on a bus and push them off a cliff. Others send them out for a beer. And boy, does she do a great workshop on that. Okay, we're getting 20 minutes yet.
Pay attention to what I talk about.
I'm not ready for that one yet. Okay, any more questions? Those were good ones.
Does your subconscious already have knowledge and know the answers to things that you haven't even learned to ask yet?
Yes. Your subconscious is a vast warehouse of all kinds of information that you're not even aware of. You have all of your experiences from before you were born, while in the womb. Probably you've got experiences from past lives. A lot of people don't believe in past lives. I can't help it, that's their belief. I know we exist beyond physical death. I've been dead. I'm dead for a half an hour. Maybe that's why I'm a little crazy.
That's why I like them. Can I share
Yes.
something
Yeah.
that's completely off the wall?
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you know me, but I've written quite a few books, about 120 of them. But I'm not saying this to brag, but I wanted to bring up a book I wrote that Keith's talking about. It's called Yada Yada Yada, It Really Doesn't Matter. And what it does is it talks about how we get rid of that unconscious tyrant that is going blah, 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 blah in your head. And so it's a self-coaching book, and if you learn how to do this, it gets really quiet. So I just thought I would share that if anybody's interested.
That's like mind chatting then, right?
Yeah,
Because a while ago, I took a little evening course about mind chatter.
Yes.
right, exactly,
Does matter,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The conversation you're having with yourself.
yes. Thank you, Keith, sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Did I hear you say
I'm sorry.
subconscious exists before you were
That's your
born?
POTUS.
Oh, yeah, that's all you are.
Is that what
The
you
conscious
meant?
mind doesn't form until you're about 6.
Would that explain why some people, when they're babies, when they're very young, you get this feeling that they came from another planet?
Yeah?
And surprisingly, I found a number of people have had that experience.
I have.
Me too.
At
That's strange.
the age of 5, I was standing out behind my grandfather's barn and I was straining. My dad says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I used to be able to lift. I can't do that anymore." He says, "Well, we don't seem to be able to do that here." And he just kind of wandered off. Now, that was a perfect answer for a 5-year-old. We don't seem to be able to do that. What he let me know is everybody can't. I used to be able to. I knew I could fly. I knew I could lift myself up by mind power alone. I knew that at 5. We can't do that yet here. Yet. There may be some that can, yes.
And also I wanted to share, I can remember an incident that happened to me when I was 3 months old.
Yeah.
And with, at the time, and I think
I didn't
even
fight
now,
you, did I?
mothers wrap
Did I
their
fight you?
children in receiving blankets. And they wrap them up so tight, thinking that makes them feel safe and secure. Where I had complete opposite reaction. I thought I was trapped. And I was screaming. And nobody came to so-called save me. So all through my life, I felt trapped. And I didn't realize that until I started working on my unconscious mind. And I would get mad when somebody would want to hug me a little bit too long. I would feel trapped. And I'd get that horrible feeling. I didn't know why I was feeling that way. So what I want to share is sometimes when we have these early experiences that we don't remember, if we work on our unconscious mind, suddenly we can be totally released, understanding where it came from.
Yeah.
It's really very.
A lot of times, it's perfectly normal not to feel okay. You've been betrayed by friends, you've been betrayed by lovers, there's been people that have walked all over you, and it's okay. You've been sick, you've been depressed, and you don't feel okay. If you realize that it is normal not to feel okay sometimes, that's a big relief. It's okay not to feel okay.
Making it wrong just doesn't work.
Yeah, and making other people wrong, or even making yourself wrong for a decision you made. I've made myself wrong a lot of times for decisions I've made. And later on, I discovered those were actually the best decisions I could have made at the time because I was operating on the best available data I had. When I had any further data, I'd have made a different decision. I made a left turn when I should have made a right turn, and it didn't work. U-turns are okay in life.
I think if there's anything that we can do as human beings, is to stop making ourselves wrong.
Yes.
And other people, but that's an afterthought.
You're absolutely incredible beings. You have no idea of the abilities you truly have. You haven't explored a 100th of them, probably even 1,000th of the abilities you really have. You see, you are perfect the way you are. You don't feel perfect because we've been taught a picture of perfection that does not exist. You see, I am perfectly me. There isn't anybody else in the room that can fit in this skin and be me. I am perfectly me. And by the way, do you know what the word perfect actually means in the dictionary?
Awesome.
Nope. Well, that's one of them, but there's a better one. All pieces and parts in place and functional. You're perfect, except for the parts that have been taken out. But you didn't need them. Okay. I think that's about it except for some questions. Here's the last one. I think you'll like this one. Yes, you can douse for that.
Does that mean you'll get it?
I didn't guarantee that, I just said you can douse for it.
Might as well ask.
Just remember, there's probably somebody dowsing for you. Think about
That
it.
could be good or it could be not so good.
Uh-huh.
So I have a question, when we're
Yes, ma'am.
dowsing for like food, do we just like put it over it to see, do we even have to ask, like, does my body need this right now? Or can we just put it over and just like
Is
see
this
what it
gonna make my
does?
blood sugar go up?
I didn't understand everything you said.
Like if I'm checking for food,
Yes,
do I need to ask a question like you were saying, does my body need this right today, right now? Or can I just put it over and just see what it does, like in general? You know what I mean? Like what's the
Well,
best way to?
the question is, are you hungry or thirsty? If you're hungry and thirsty, you probably want it right now.
Well, no, that's not the question is this good for me? Like are the
Well,
ingredients?
now, which good are you talking about? Is it
Like,
beneficial? Is
Yeah, beneficial
it
to my body.
what is called good tea or bad tea, which is so-called beneficial or not? See, there's a lot of different words,
Oh,
there's a
so
lot of
get
different
really
meanings for the word
specific.
good.
Good to
Okay.
your taste
Well,
buds or
okay.
good to yourself?
Okay, so that's good to know, because a lot of food that I eat irritates my stomach, so should I ask, is this going to irritate my stomach?
That's a good question, yes,
Okay, so get it like specific.
yes.
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
would I like to have this tea right now?
It's right
Ask
over
that.
there.
Would I like to have this tea right now? Oh, yeah, I don't want it, so I'm digesting.
See, well, they toss it.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, well, that's about all I've got. Thank you for being here. I'm going to pass out some,
Yay, thank you.
Oh,
So Keith, I think I heard you comment on tapping a little bit, and I have a sister who does tapping.
Yes.
But she does it more to like program her mind or to get herself to a desired outcome. I'm
Sure.
not sure if that's quite the same as Dowsing.
yes, it is a form. I've got an evaluation sheet I would like to have you fill out.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much. I just know where I'm going right and where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, there's this,
Emotional freedom tapping is a very effective way of removing difficulties. At the VA, they're using tapping for PTSD on veterans. And in 4 hours, I've seen I saw a Korean War vet that had PTSD that's been under medication since the Korean War, just going worse and worse and worse. In 4 hours, it was gone, and it was removed from the medication. And it was very intensive tactic too, let me tell you.
I've had amazing luck with that.
Go ahead.
My secret sauce with that is back it up with emotion.
Yeah. Very simply, what you're doing is causing a, well, don't know how to phrase this. There is the acupressure points, acupressure points. And when you tap on these particular points in the body, what you're doing is interfering with the flow of nervous electrical energy through these neurons. And what happens then is when you interfere with that flow of energy, you break up the pattern of this reaction response that's embedded in the body. This is a memory. This is one of these emotional memories that I'm talking about. PTSD is primarily the body reacting to something horrific. I was very fortunate that I never experienced PTSD from Vietnam. And I brought half my crew back in coffins. And we weren't even supposed to be there in the first place. We were sent in because they hadn't even finished the air base. The 14 of us that went in to install equipment on the aircraft that couldn't land. And then we got hit.
Oh, it's the 20th.
I brought half of them back alive. So I was fortunate. But I think the difference is I'm a country kid.
Me too.
I grew up understanding about killing, slaughtering animals for food, raising animals for food, and having to kill them and cut them up. I have no qualms about stopping someone that has an intention of harming me or mine, or anybody else that is around me. And if it requires physical violence to their termination to stop them, I will. And I've got no qualms about it. Yeah,
No, I was just gonna say, you said stomp or stomp?
both.
Okay.
Now, it's a little hard for me to stomp because I'm 83, but I can stop them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not into the stomping age anymore.
Me either.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take a bow.
So, our next class, I'm gonna be teaching, and it's going to be using self-hypnosis for spiritual improvement for spirituality. So that'll be the first Thursday of next month from
Yep.
7 to 9, right here.
I'll be here. I don't know if she'll be able to attend, but we'll see.
It all depends on your back.
That's it. We're going to be working on that too.
You'll be back. If you're back, we'll let you be back.
Yeah, I think I'll try the pendulum on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you know of our little, my wife died 2 years ago. I got a letter from her a month after she died.
That happened
She
to me.
wrote it 3 months before she died, telling me how much she loved me and how much she appreciated my taking care of her when she was handicapped. And then she told me she didn't think I'd do well without a woman in my life, and I should live with Marge.
Yay.
So we decided if we didn't, she'd come back and haunt us.
So you looked out at all
Party,
this.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry?
You told me that at
Yeah.
the party, I like that story. Thank you.
Well done?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
And thank you very much.
You can keep it if you want.
Actually, if you don't mind, I will.
That's why I
Why'd you think I was scared? You scared me.
Are you retired? Are you still
I
make one, I can just go home and test it out. Dog's gonna think I'm going cuckoo, but
Jack, just don't use it in public.
what's that?
Don't use it in public.
No, they might think it's a button or something.
Somebody will say there's a nut on both ends of that string.
And they could be right.
Yeah. All depends on your attitude at the moment, right?
You still Stanford. Stanford.
Some of these other goods, I use them with my,
Yeah.
with my eels.
Okay, these that are not.
It's also important. You don't have to stay that way if you don't want to.
Power to change. Within you. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you all for the questions, because,
By the way, Keith, thank you very much.
oh, you're welcome, Jack.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I learn more than you guys do.
Well, I guess the point is you're still learning.
Of course, you want to learn something, teach it. You'll get asked questions you ain't got no answers for.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Really
welcome.
enjoyed it.
Thank you very
Even more than I thought I would.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's great.
We appreciate it.
Wonderful.
So Tower says he's working for you. That's wonderful. Good, good. I think you're good.
Familiar.
Do I?
You been here before?
No, first time.
Oh.
Okay, Reverend Keith,
You're welcome.
there's one more for you.
Thank you, Jack. Or, Bob.
Hope that helps.
It does.
Yeah.
Fine. Coach, somebody's like me,
Just over here.
Yeah. See you later.
Good seminar.
Oh, wonderful. I'll be looking for you.
Well, you always do. Yeah.
Nice to have you
You're
around.
one of my buddies.
Well,
No,
thank
dear,
you.
it's too heavy.
Yeah.
Have I been working out okay?
I like to look like.
I don't want to run the risk of hurting your back.
Well, you know, that's good. That's good. To do all directions.
Yeah. You don't have to.
So it's, one of them's your wife.
Someday, huh?
One is your wife, Dorothy. One of your guardian angels is your wife.
On the other side, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is there for you?
We put this in the car.
Isn't that nice?
And then.
Thank you, Kevin. And shake hands with their phone.
Actually, you need a hand.
I think I got it. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Well, I'll see you.
You sure will. Thank you.
Out here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Hmm?
I said bye.
Well, now you have to drive home to the door.
I know, it's okay. I will make it, it's a straight shot 101, and I'm in my car.